know what's coming next. Jumped in the shower, and it won't be long. That bath and body really turned me on. I want you on your knees, if you know what I mean. Don't you know I like freaky things, freaky things. The things you do, it's a doggone shame. It's a doggone shame. Don't you know into my brain? The way I'm feeling, I'm hard as a brick. I'm hard as a brick. Girl, you can have all of my Chico sticks. I'll be your pacifier. Your pacifier. Girl, I won't deny ya. Girl, I won't deny ya. I'll be your pacifier. Your pacifier. Girl, I won't deny ya. Girl, I won't deny ya. When you stroke on me, baby, hey, just watch it grow. I love it when you lick me, just lick me from head to toe. Just know on it, baby, like a dog does a bone. I'll stay right there until the cows come home. Just work on me, baby, until I'm weak in my knees. Nibble on me, baby, just like a rat does cheese. The things you do, it's a doggone shame. It's a doggone shame. Don't you know into my brain? The way I'm feeling, I'm hard as a brick. I'm hard as a brick. Girl, you can have all of my Chico sticks. I'll be your pacifier. Your pacifier. Girl, I won't deny ya. Girl, I won't deny ya. I'll be your pacifier. Your pacifier. Girl, I won't deny ya. Girl, I won't deny ya.
Yo, what it do, people, what it do? Let me see if we can mic check. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. What it do, people? It's your boy Chaos Theory, and it's just our opinion podcast, broadcasting live and direct in the great state of Texas. Baytown. Baytown, where everything goes down. Boy, crazy, weirdo, little city. If I would have known this was on the baby, bothering me, I'm in my truck, I would have went to get on the YouTube. Even though I ain't that far from you, like, I'll say about 10 minutes from YouTube. Oh man. Well, tonight podcast is about R&B, y'all, for real. And the impact of R&B music. You know, I've been talking about serious shit for the last couple of months, you know what I'm saying? And I just felt like, you know, since I'm a DJ, you know, as well, I need to start talking about some music. And my subject of choice was R&B, music of our lives, believe it or not. You know, one thing about it, most people don't even know how R&B music got started. The R&B music basically is an offshoot of gospel, and what what made R&B music so important to us is it basically helped us deal with our feelings. It helped us feel good. It helped us unify. It helped us bring in new life. And that's why I always wanted to get an understanding on why women love R&B music so much. It's because women are fragile beings, and they like to be loved, they like to be cared for. They love to basically be pampered. And R&B music has a whole lot of this and that and another on what I just said that women love. But back to where R&B first started. R&B started as gospel music. And gospel music was basically music that was sung in the fields of the South. And that was kind of the music, the music that basically kept us. I don't know what, hold on for a minute. I just realized this music, my theme music is too loud, so I probably can't hear me, but I'm going to tune it down. I wasn't thinking. But I got my volume up with my volume down, and I got my music up. That's crazy. I'm going to do it like this. Okay, now, back to what I was saying. Gospel music came up out of the South. It came up out of the fields of the South because that was music that basically were songs that a lot of sharecroppers were singing to basically get through their trials and tribulations and heartache and pain, working in the hot sun. You know what I'm saying? It basically took their mind off of the tyranny of their hard works in the fields of the South. Believe it or not, a lot of this music, gospel music and everything, basically is settled out of Mississippi. That's the reason why Mississippi new model is, it's still a Magnolia State, but they really consider it as the birthplace of America's music, which is the truth, because a lot of the music, gospel music and all the way to hip hop, rock and roll, jazz, blues especially, come out of Mississippi, out of the Mississippi Delta. But like I was saying, gospel music helped our ancestors get through the trials and tribulations and the hard times of the sharecropping South, Jim Crow and all that stuff, whites only, colors only days or whatever. And it basically made you feel good, because basically it was spiritual music. It kept you on your toes. It kept you energized. But later on down the line, as time moved along, it started to break off into a little bit of comfort music, which made the man wanted to sing how beautiful his fellow sharecropping female, how beautiful she was, and keeping her on her toes, making her feel good about herself. And this grew into R&B music, believe it or not, because you had blues. True enough, blues is R&B, rhythm and blues. That's what R&B stands for. Because it made you dance, and it also made you think, and it also made you feel some type of way while thinking. But at the same time, it was feel-good music. It made you think a whole lot about your significant other. That's why a lot of the songs, the R&B slow jams, as far as the I want to say 1959, but let's go for 1959. There was a group called the Flamingos, and they was like the first, I want to say the first R&B group that was on Chess Records with Muddy Waters and Little Milton and all of them back in the days. And they had a song called I Only Have Eyes for You, which was a real mellow slow jam in 1959. And it was also a very popular song. And it was one of those songs that basically, when you were with your girlfriend, your wife, or whatever, it made y'all have a love and passion for each other to basically be together as one. And it also helped brought in life, because R&B music is the breeding tool for life, you know, for new life. And a lot of people don't really understand or really don't know that, because, quiet as kept, you know, they basically trying to get rid of R&B. If y'all may not really pick up on it or really know what's going on with the situation with R. Kelly, but you know, y'all know. Well, I'm sure y'all have heard, because it's all over the media, all over social medias everywhere now. About R. Kelly getting 30 years, 40 years, or whatever the case may be. But we'll get to that in a little bit. I don't want to lose my thought right now, but going further in on R&B, R&B was a soul survivor tool in our lives. Once upon a time, men were just more in love with R&B just as much as women, because men basically were the ones that did a lot of the R&B singing in the 50s and 60s, and even all the way up to the 70s and 80s. Because, okay, when you got into the 60s decade, that was a decade of basically the booming sensation of the civil rights movement. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much the ending of Jim Crow, and what I'm saying, Kennedy's assassination, all the way down to Dr. King's assassination, Malcolm X, Medgar Evers, Robert Kennedy, yada yada yada. Motown creator Berry Gordy basically came up with an ideal. I would say maybe about, I want to say the late 50s, early 60s. He was a worker at Ford Motor Company in Detroit, Michigan, and he was very fascinated by music. He loved music, but at the same time, he felt like that he wanted to stop working at Ford Motor Company and create his own musical label. And so he basically I don't know, I'm trying to get it right. I'm thinking that he got in with somebody that was working. It was a Caucasian guy, whoever, that worked at Ford Motor Company and got a loan some kind of way. And he basically bought this house in Detroit and basically turned it into a studio, which we know now is called Motown Records. It is a museum now, but it was a studio back then where everybody from the Temptations, the Four Tops, Marvelettes, Smokey Robinson, the Miracles, on and on and on and on, all the way down to the Jackson 5, recorded out of that studio. And his whole concepts of R&B was to make music that basically stood the test of time and basically spoke out about what was going on around us, but in a positive manner. And you know, even with his come ups on that R&B music, studio or whatever the case may be, he basically broke the barriers of you know the white versus black persona back then, because Caucasian people started listening a lot to our music, to Motown. You know what I'm saying? Even today, you got a lot of Caucasian people that will tell you that they grew up listening to Motown sound, as a child. So, I mean, Barry Gordy pretty much did that part, but Barry Gordy also did some foul stuff to a lot of his artists. And I hate to say it, but it is what it is. But I don't want to go too far into that detail. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to the Motown, records, even though Motown is now owned by Universal Records now. But Barry Gordy basically paved the way and was one of the first blacks to own a record label. And then later on down the line, I want to say Stax Records came along in the South, in Memphis, out of East Memphis. That became the second black-owned record label in the country. Then I want to say Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. They owned Philly International, which came about in the late '60s, early '70s. But anyway, like I was saying about the R&B music though, but that music basically is a soothing soul that basically made us feel good about each other. And it also, like I said, procreate life. It gave us the courage to be unified. It basically gave us the courage to think about who we are as a people. It gave us the courage to think about how we're going to live our lives, where we're going, where we might end up, and so on and so on. But the thing about it is, I feel like that we are losing the concepts of R&B, and it's because the people that running the industry now basically don't even want to have anything to do with that type of situation anymore. And I'm gonna get into that as well later on down through the podcast. But if you ever just get a chance to just think about how the music basically influenced us in all aspects of life, even back in the '60s, because like I said, the '60s was a booming decade because you had all kind of as some people will call it, radical situations going on. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you had all kind of civil rights movement things going on, but it was also basically, like I said, it was music that basically soothed our mindsets from the heartaches and pain that we endure every day of our lives. And they knew it. And this, and like I say, when I listen to music like, music from Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, it made me feel good. And it made me feel like I wanted to get crunk and go out and bust car windows or act a damn fool or whatever the case may be. I felt good because it was good, soothing, playing music. But like now, I can listen to all the old school music all day, every day. 60s, 70s, 80s, and the 90s music. I mean, no disrespect to 2K I mean, you know what I'm saying, 2G or whatever you want to call it. I mean, even some of that I listen to it every now and again, but a lot of it I don't because I know that it started becoming a big change in that music for a reason. It's because they felt like the music, well, like I said, we're gonna go there just yet, but like I said, I could listen to old school classical R&B music. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, the '60s had a good soundtrack. I mean, as far as when the Temptations, when they first hit the airwaves, you know what I'm saying, back in 62, 63. You know what I'm saying? Singing songs like My Girl. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the way you do the things you do. The girls all right with me. They sung songs basically promoting how men love women, and that's a beautiful thing because we can back then we was able to relate to the situation because black women and black men basically stood together, fought together, and had each other's back more than ever before. And those songs basically was the soundtrack to what was going on in their daily in black people's daily lives back in those days. I mean, but as time went along, we started getting off into the '70s. After Dr. King was assassinated in '68, Robert Kennedy was assassinated like maybe what I want to say 4 or 5 months later, something like that. Things started to really clash between the United States and the people of the United States and the government. And as the people started, the environment of the people started to change, the music started to change a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it started getting a little bit funky, as some of the musicians say. You know what I'm saying? Because you started getting into the '60s, I mean the '70s, and the music they started using synthesizers and more electric pianos, and then electric guitar started being more of a new sound, and and then the lyrics of music started to change, started to get a little dirty, just a little bit, but not that very much, but just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because groups like the Dramatics, the Delphonics, the Stylistics, they started to get on the scene, and uh, like the Delphonics had a song called "Hey Love." Did not blow your mind this time. Songs like that, and those were sexual songs. It started to get more X-rated, but in a positive and cleanful mindset. You know what I'm saying? Because when they saying did not blow your mind this time, you know what I'm saying? It's like did not get your mind kind of going on what I can do in that bedroom. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? And that's where they basically started to push more love making in the R&B music in the early '70s. If you notice, if you go and do a history research, you can see that a lot of baby boomers and what they call us, I think they call us Generation X, or some shit like that. But more babies started to be born in the late '60s, or I want to say late '60s, early '70s. A lot of babies started to be born because you know like I said, after the '60s, with all the shit that was going on, people lives started to change. Because it started. People started looking at themselves more. and and things started to grow as far as togetherness was concerned. You know what I'm saying, at that time, because even in the black, in the black community, what I'm saying, we had the Black Panthers. The Black Panthers started with the whole concepts of the Afro. You know what I'm saying, wearing leather jackets and berets and shit, and basically standing up with different types of slang. You know what I'm saying? What's happening? You know what I'm saying? You jive turkey, sucker. You know what I'm saying? I can dig it. That's my word there. Those words started to come about because that was a way that we communicated with each other. That was that part. That was what they call jive talk back in those days, and which is similar to how these young folks talk about fleek and all this other shit they talk about in this generation. You know what I'm saying? But um, the '70s basically brought in a lot of beautiful ballads, slow jam ballads. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I said, I brought up the Stylistics, the Delphonics, the Dramatics. You know what I'm saying? Dramatics had a song, "I Want to Go Outside in the Rain." In the rain. The title song was "In the Rain." Of course, uh, Keith Sweat did a cover version of that in the '80s. You know what I'm saying? But I've always said the original always sound better than the cover version. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the original. But I'm not hating on it because I mean Keith Sweat did a pretty good job on his version. But the always classical original versions always sound good to me. And if you ever listen to that song, "In the Rain" by the Dramatics, it says the lyric says it may sound crazy, but I want to go outside. And he said it's basically he was saying like I'm in my feelings and I want to go outside in the rain, and when the raindrop falls on his face, you don't know if he's crying or if that's rain that's on his face. But he don't want the woman to see him crying because he's emotional, because it could be to the point where chances are she broke up with him and dumped him for somebody else or whatever the case may be. So, but that song made a lot of sense, you know what I'm saying? Because he was like, I don't want you to see me cry. So that means he wanted to go outside in the rain, like I said, because when you go outside and the rain's falling and you look up in the air and water hit your face, she's not gonna know if you're crying or there's rain. I mean, that's a hell of a metaphor, though. You know what I'm saying? If you really just listen to that song. But that was a beautiful song, you know what I'm saying? It was a nice slow jam. And like I said, it was an emotional but smooth cut, you know what I'm saying? And let's see, getting into artists like Stevie Wonder, you know what I'm saying? Even though Stevie Wonder been singing ever since he was a little boy, about 19 years old. He started with his first album, first song, first single, Fingertips. But as he got older, he got wiser, he got more mature. In the '70s, you know, Stevie Wonder did a song called "You Got It Bad." Usher wasn't the one that did this song first. He did a song called "You Got It Bad," and once again, that was original, and it sounds better than Usher's version. You know, but you barely do find. I'm not gonna say you don't, but you barely kind of find, the new generation music sounding better than the old generation music. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But we make it do what it do because a lot of time we be like, okay, you hear that song playing in the new, in our generation or new generation, then you like, okay, I like that song. It's pretty good. And then you start to realize somebody older to walk up to you and say, you know what? That song right there has already been recorded a long time ago. And you like, get the fuck out of here. No, it hasn't. And then they play the original version. You're like, oh, okay, that's where they got that joint from. All right. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the song Creeping by Stevie Wonder. It was, what's the name covered? The late Luther Vandross covered. His son covered that version in 1982, 81, 82, something like that. His song was Creeping. And it was the same song that Stevie Wonder that song. I didn't even know that until I got older. And it was crazy because I like Stevie Wonder's version and I like Luther Vandross' version. But when I started listening to Stevie Wonder's version a whole lot, I like it more than I like Luther Vandross' version. But it's a DJ thing, so I mean, that's just the way. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, like I say, the '70s basically was a heavy hitter on baby booming, the baby population being born. Because quite frankly, I was born in the '70s. I was born in 1976. And shout out to all my '70s babies out there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us came up off, were born off of slow jam. They probably ain't gonna, mom and dad probably ain't gonna tell you, but a lot of, back in the days, mom and dad used to get it on. Matter of fact, they had a song called "Let's Get It On" by the late Marvin Gaye. And Marvin Gaye, when he sung that song, Marvin Gaye had already had nice slow jam ballads back in the '60s. He was also on Motown. He sung about a lot of love and happiness. But like I said, quiet is kept. Well, not quiet is kept, but to be known now, R&B music started to be more exotic. You know what I'm saying? In the early in the mid '70s, because I'm thinking "Let's Get It On" came out like '73 or '74, something like that up in there. And that song was very sexual. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, hold on a second. Okay, there you go. Like I was saying though, Marvin Gaye, if you listen to the lyrics, he said, "I've been holding back my feelings for so long. And if you feel like I feel, honey, come on. Let's get it on." Letting you know, hey, it's a rumble in the jungle and in my pants. I'm ready to get it in. You dig? And Marvin Gaye was basically revealing on how society feels. You see, that's why I say R&B was the soundtrack of our daily lives. You know what I'm saying? It made you feel like being loved, being happy, being cared for, doing things together, and so on and so on. Okay, and I don't even want to skip this. This group right here is one of my favorite groups because I got two favorite groups back in the '70s. My favorite big group of all time is the Isley Brothers. My second favorite group is Earth, Wind, and Fire. And what a coincidence, they did a verses back here, which was off the chain. That was the best verses I've seen since verses started, around the pandemic. But when when you listen to the Isley Brothers, you know that you were basically listening to some real music. And Isley Brothers have been out, they came out in the 50s. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 2000. And then 2022. They've been out 6.5 decades. But think about that. The longest singing band in Black history, the Isley Brothers. Even though God rest his dead Marvin Isley died back in 2010. O'Kelly died like in the 80s something, 80 something. But you know what I'm saying. But Ronald, Ernie, and their brother, God damn it, I can't think of his name right now. It's slipping my mind. It's a damn shame because I used to know all their names by heart. You know what I'm saying. But it's only like I think it's like three or four of them still living. But like three of it's three. I think it's three deceased, and it's like three still alive. 3 or 4 still alive because we got to include Chris Jasper. Shout out to Chris Jasper. Chris Jasper was the brother-in-law to O'Kelly because O'Kelly was married to Chris Jasper's sister or something like that. I think I'm right. But and I got a chance to chop it up with Chris Jasper on Facebook back here. One thing about it, Chris Jasper, that brother there, he was the architect for the sound of the Isley Brothers. If you just listen to that keyboard, listen to playing that keyboard, God damn, it just made you just like, you know, if I was to see Chris Jasper, I don't know, I'd probably be like a damn fucking groupie because I would be glad to hell to see that brother because he really made the Isley Brothers what it is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't get me wrong. They had good hits back in the 60s and 50s or whatever the case may be. But Chris Jasper, because see, the Isley Brothers and the Jasper family were just, they was good for best, you know, it was a collaboration, you know, of family members that stayed on the same block in Cincinnati, Ohio. But Chris Jasper had his own little thing going on, but they were young and still in high school when Ron Isley and them was performing back in the days, you know, back in the 60s and 50s. But, you know, in the early 70s, he found, you know, he went ahead and Ron Isley let him join the group. And he basically tracked and did a lot of the music for the Isley Brothers. You know what I'm saying? And man, songs like Who's That Lady? For the Love of You, You're All That I Need. Oh man, that dude there went ham and eggs on that keyboard and that synthesizer. I'm talking about straight hard. And that music sounds so goddamn good. That's why I say you can listen to the Isley Brothers and feel real damn good. And believe it or not, what I'm finna say is gonna sound crazy. My dad told me, God rest his dead. He told me, oh shit, is my background sounding bad? Is it sounding bad? No, I'm just talking crazy, talking. I'm gonna try y'all say something. Oh, that's probably been early. That was an early text. Thank you anyway, Trees. Appreciate it. I'm looking at. I didn't see the text message because my phone didn't go off. But appreciate it though. Because I had to cut my. I think because my music was up too loud, but I cut it down. But anyway, Chris Jasper. Oh no, I didn't got to just Chris Jasper. I'm talking about my dad now. My dad told me, God rest his dead. He said his favorite song, one of his favorite songs of the Isley Brothers was Summer Breeze. And that song came out on the album with For the Love of You. It came out in 75. And he said, boy, you came into this world off of that song, Summer Breeze. And you know, I'm looking like, really, Dad, you gonna tell me this shit, right? You just gonna sit up there and tell me that I was conceived off of Summer Breeze by the Isley Brothers. Oh, okay. So every time I listen to that song, I think about that. Because the lyrics of the song is, summer breeze makes me feel fine, going through the jasmine in my mind. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but that's the thing. When your parent can tell you this, let you know, I mean, even though it sounds crazy, it sounds funny as hell, and it sounds weird and kind of make you feel some kind of way, but if you really think about it, that was a beautiful thing because I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Because my daddy literally said that I was made off the song Summer Breeze. I was, conceived off of that. But a lot of people in the 70s, where I come from and different cities and stuff across the country, people would tell you that their parents conceived them off of the Isley Brothers. Because the Isley Brothers had some beautiful ballad songs. I mean, beautiful. You know what I'm saying? They had one song called You're At Your Best. If y'all get a chance, man, when y'all get up off of this podcast, if y'all had a chance, go on YouTube and just type up the Isley Brothers greatest hits. Or just, no, matter of fact, type up Isley Brothers albums. And YouTube gonna put out every last Isley Brother album that came out. From the rooter to the tutor. By the way, by me being a DJ, I got all the music. I got all the albums. You know what I'm saying? I could do a 2.5 hour mix of the Isley Brothers. And a lot of the songs that they have sung for the last 6.5 decades is pretty much probably one of the biggest reasons why the black community has a lot of 70s babies, believe it or not. I mean, but we can't leave out Earth, Wind, and Fire. Earth, Wind, and Fire, they had a lot of spiritual music, but that was a part of bringing in life too. They had songs called After the Love Is Gone, September, and just think about it. They had a song called September. September is like one of the biggest months of most life being born in the black community, if you believe it or not. There are a lot of people that I know that are born in September. And believe it or not, that makes a whole lot of sense because now that I, when I started to listen to that song and I'm thinking about it, I'm like, damn, I know a lot of people born in September. And they got a song called September. But that was another favorite group of mine, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Because Earth, Wind, and Fire had a lot of beautiful ballads too. Like I said, After the Love Is Gone, Fantasy, let's see, Reasons. Oh, now that song right there was a family song. My family loved that song. My dad used to play that song like crazy back in the days. You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't get me wrong, my dad played a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying? But it was just something about reasons, because the lyrics right there is the reasons that we here. You know what I'm saying? It basically telling you why you here on the planet Earth through that song, through the lyrics of that song. But these songs here basically were it basically created a lot of life in the 70s. And I feel like the young generation that was born in the 90s, 2000s, need to listen and research these beautiful songs. You know what I'm saying? Because to get an understanding on why we were so respected and we had so much respect in our generation versus how they have a low frequency of respect in theirs, because we grew up in a time where this type of music made us respect one another. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that it wasn't no trouble going on in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, or whatever the case may be. No, miss me with that. That ain't the point. The point is, I'm just saying that the music basically gentrified us being the way we are, believe it or not, because we were more respectful in that environment of life then than how these young folks are today. And the reason why these young folks are the way they are now is because they don't know history about this type of music. They don't know about the Isley Brothers. They don't know about the Delphonics, the Dramatics, the Temptations, you know what I'm saying, the Stylistics, the Temporaries, uh, uh, the Commodores, Shy Lights, you know what I'm saying? I mean, all these different R&B greats of the 60s and 70s that basically helped lay the foundation of life on this planet. Because if it was a such thing where we could take a time machine back to the 70s, you would realize that everybody that was young, like these youngsters around here, you will see the whole living persona is totally laid out, totally different than how it is today. Because, like I said, the music soothed us of being respectful because it basically brought in a respectful environment. See, back then they didn't have parental advisory stickers on music back then. They didn't have to because it wasn't nothing to be advised parentally about. Because I mean, you know, you might have a couple of songs. I mean, it's just like, goddamn it, Isaac Brother had a song called "Fight the Power," and Ron Isley said, for all this bullshit going down, oh, he just said bullshit. That was just one cuss word. But even though the radio stations, believe it or not, played that version, but it was said like that so fast, they was like, oh, so what, he said bullshit. But now you can't even play that shit you want to on these radio stations. They go have you shut down. I mean, it's just, but that's the thing though, because people knew how to understand life a whole lot better than what they do now. And it hurts me in some aspects or another because a lot of us, we sit around and let this shit just go in with it where it is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we don't even want to even give our kids the thumbs up of the music that we used to listen to. We like, they don't want to hear our stuff, you know, forget them. Them going to listen to this goof ass shit that's out here. And then you wonder why they out here doing the shit that they doing and unhappy and doing crazy stuff, you know. So, but you know, that's how that is. But like I say, we had beautiful music in the 70s. Moving on into the 80s. Well, the 80s got more of a synthesized electrical sound because we was going into the somewhat of the computer age. So the music started to sound a little bit more robotic type. You know what I'm saying? They started going in with drum machines and synthesizers and keyboards. Less horns, trumpets, and all that old shit. You know, you had those type of situations going on at the time. But I'm hit off a video right quick, and I'm gonna come right back with you guys. Y'all just give me. I'm a matter of fact, I'm gonna do a video. It's not gonna be really pertaining to music. It's just gonna be pertaining to spiritual vibes, and I'll hit you right back.
So I want y'all to know this. One of the things that I have realized ever since I'm about to give y'all a whole list of what's happening to people. And I want y'all to know the biggest lies we was ever told was that we was all one. We are not all one. I want y'all to know, by me being a spiritual teacher or a spiritual leader, I come across people all the time that tell me they can't sun gaze or they can't get sun. I come across people all the time that can't sunbathe. They tell me all the stuff that I be saying that works for me don't work for them. And then it be having me thinking like, damn, how is that possible? And as I start getting further and further into my spiritual journey, I understand and understand we are all not one. Everybody has came here for a different purpose, and it is some people that's organic to the planet, and it is some people that's non-organic to the planet. And some of the people that's non-organic to the planet, they may be trying to grow spiritually. They may be affected by shit. They got generational curses. Their DNA is fucked up by their ancestors. The stuff that their ancestors put them through, the stuff, they not connected with nature. They have no connection with the planet. And it's not even their fault, and they don't even know, because they never took the time out to learn not only their history, but my history as well, and where I came from. You would have known if you went and did research on all of the history. You would have known everything. Research, knowledge. If you lack knowledge, you would die in this age. This is the end, y'all. If you have no knowledge, you would die. Most of these bots is just out here worshiping us. These fucking bots, fuck them. They're gonna die. They don't, bro, it's a split. It's a complete split on the planet. Nature is taking back over. Don't matter what they try to connect nature with. Oh, it's a food shortage because of the war. No, it's nature. I'm about to give y'all a list of some things that I have came across in people. It's like a pattern. I've talked to about 15 people one-on-one in the past 2-3 days. This is a pattern of stuff that they have been saying is happening to them. I put everything in one on the list. I want y'all to know, ever since I had a spiritual awakening, the sun has changed me. I have more knowledge now. I barely have to read. All I got to do is sit in the sun. I got downloads. I got new information. I know stuff that I never knew before. I got deep dreams and meditation. I'm seeing 2 suns. I can sun gaze anytime I want to, anytime during the day. I'm well connected with the nature. I'm well connected with the sun. I'm connected with the animals, everything. I have a serious connection with this planet. And I still feel like I'm not even from here. I want y'all to know this. Number one, a lot of people told me their plants are dying off. I've been talking about people planting their food and they telling me their plants are dying off. It's a cleansing process taking place. It's going to always be new nature, a birth of a new earth. It's a cleansing process taking place. A lot of grass in nature is dying regularly. It's a pole shift. Next thing you know, it's going to be way more colder in areas that it's never been cold at before. This is going to happen. It's a pole shift happening. It's so much stuff happening with the sun that's changing this planet. It's like Earth being fucked.
All right, I'm back. But anyway, yeah, that was Spiritual Zoe, the homie from Phoenix, Arizona. Yeah, he giving that spiritual knowledge. You know what I'm saying? You need to check him out on his YouTube page, Spiritual Zone. But anyway, like I was saying, we was going into the 80s. The 80s music started to change a whole lot as far as the electronical sound that was being brought out. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't hardly too much of the instruments being played, like the horns, you know, even to the point of drums and stuff. They basically started to cut down a lot of the instrumental type of music and started going in with the drum machines, keyboards, and synthesizers. But at the same time, it still didn't stop the love for the R&B game. You did, because in the 80s we started getting groups like the 70s anyway, it was Kool and the Gang. Kool and the Gang. They were singing about love. You know what I'm saying? They had the song like Celebration and Ladies Night. I mean, shit, right there. Ladies Night. They didn't say Men's Night. They said Ladies Night. You know what I'm saying? And you had groups like Shalimar. You know what I'm saying? This is for the lover in you. Um, it was basically on the same level as the 70s, but more push for a real like dance, kind of a mild dancing type of vibe because it was kind of real, grindy, slow type of music back in the 70s, but it started to pep up the step a little bit in the 80s, you know what I'm saying? But it was still kind of slow a little bit, I mean, even the Isaac Brothers was, even the Isaac Brothers and Earth, Wind & Fire, they found themselves in the 80s, you know what I'm saying? And the Isaac Brothers had a song, Here We Go Again, the Caravan of Love and stuff like that. So, I mean, the music, even though the sound might have changed, but the love was still there. Even getting all the way down into the mid to late 80s, you know what I'm saying? You started getting into groups like, you know what I'm saying, Force MDs, Ready for the World, stuff like that. It started, it was still groups that were singing, letting the women know, hey, we still got love for you, baby. We letting it be known, you dig? Oh, well, I didn't see my brother then pulled up on the backstage. God Prince in the house, y'all. What it do, bro? I thought I was gonna miss you tonight.
Man, been a lot of craziness stuff going on the phone. I mean, we had death in the family today. That's been shaking. I've been, talking with family members. They ain't feeling so good. It's been a dark cloud since even though it's sunny almost today, but emotionally, it's been one of them days. And then just got off the phone with somebody else that's close to me, and it's just so putting out a lot of fires, bro. But anyway, shalom to everybody that come in. I'm in the building now.
I'm sorry, bro, to hear that, man. Shout out to the folks back in Hollandale too. I heard about Gentise, you know what I'm saying, passed, and God rested dead. Beautiful young lady, you know what I'm saying. She had been sick for the last couple of weeks or whatever, and she passed this afternoon. You know what I'm saying, and she was on life support down in Jackson. My heart and spiritual praise goes out to her and her friends, family and friends. You know what I'm saying, because she had a lot of people, looking out for her, and and hung out with her and things of that nature. I knew her, you know what I'm saying. She knew me. Boy, I tell you, it's just crazy because I mean, back in the days, you used to hear about older folks getting up out of here. Now it's like more the young folks getting up out of here nowadays, man. Right now I'm talking about R&B music. As I know you just cutting in. I just left the 70s. I'm on the 80s now.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm down to the mid 80s, late 80s. And I was just talking about, that how the music has changed over the decades from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Everybody was, they were playing instruments. And then the 80s come in, they started doing more electronic music, like, the drum machine and keyboard, and, it was more technical, high tech shit. You know what I'm saying? It basically cut out all the real music, the real instrumental sound, but it didn't stop the R&B sound, the R&B lyrics. You know what I'm saying? Showing more love and happiness. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what, because you had, like I said, I'm down. I didn't left all the way from Smokey Robinson and the Miracles and the Temptations up in the '60s. Now we down in the
Mhm.
80s. I'm talking about, groups like Force MDs and you know what I'm saying, shit, Lisa Kojam. Even though Lisa Kojam was started off as a fast, Latino band, but she had a song called All Cried Out, which was a slow jam. That was a cut. I ain't gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? My sister used to be crazy about that song right there. But
Yeah.
even to the solo groups, like Keith Sweat and Babyface, we get all the way into the 90s, Then you get to the 90s, yeah, R. Kelly and Jodeci and stuff like that, It was still, even though the music persona started to change a whole lot, but the love of the love lyrics was still there. And it still helped brought in new life on this planet. And most people, because I said I wasn't gonna go further into the situation with R. Kelly yet, because I know we done many cycles on our many subject matters on Kells. You know what I'm saying? But what was your whole concepts of the R&B, game, when you were coming up that you can remember?
It was a healing therapeutic back then for me when I started. When I was first introduced to it. I was introduced to a power that I saw when it affected a couple.
Right.
I saw that when we had songs like Can You Stand the Rain, still one of my favorite songs. I seen people, what I'm saying, actually walking hand in hand back in the day in a little, what I'm saying, nice little shower outside. It might be raining, but they sold it to each other. It don't even bother them.
Right.
Because it transcends the environment. It puts you in another space, whereas everybody's having a rough day, and everybody like, well, what them fools out there doing? They ain't got no umbrellas, no raincoats. They got smiles on their face, and they sitting there chit-chatting like it's sunny.
Right.
Because the thing about it is when you had somebody that went through it with you and understood that struggle with you, your woman, your man that's with you, sunny day.
That's right.
Everybody loves them. Tell me, baby, can you stand the rain? See, this is the part of the relationship that folks don't know about. This is what was sung about. When you first meeting that person and all, the initial phase is always fun and dandy because it's a mystery to you. I don't know much about you. You don't know much about me. I know we're attracted to each other, and that's the fun part. Now, once we have been together for a while, we say, well, let's continue to roll with it. In a relationship stuff. Now, all of a sudden, you have to meet these flaws. Now you meet the characteristics of this family through this person. People start to knock head. But if you've got the right R&B song, it used to be videos, it used to be movies back in the late 80s, early 90s, whereas if you couldn't get the word across to your girl in there, you came with the radio outside the window and you played the song that could say what you wanted.
That's right. Yes, boy, you own it, bro. You own it. Even to the 70s. If you as I can remember, God rest his dead, to my brother Mark. If he was living, he would tell you. Back in the 70s, when you brought your girlfriend or female friend that you're trying to get with or whatever the case may be, and you brought her to your pad, which is your apartment or your house, or little house or whatever, wherever you're living at, you had the stereo system on deck. You had maybe 15 to probably 20 or 30 albums on the rack. Out of them albums, you better have an album that's gonna relate to that female's Love Vibration.
Let me tell you something. I remember, here's my favorite thing. See, this thing about it that makes us, you know what I'm saying, me, you. Let me say the class of 95. Let me put that out there.
Uh-oh.
Class of 95, y'all know what I'm talking about. My thing was, our music started like this. When you jacked up something, my favorite group of all time, Jodeci, started off something like this. Don't talk, just listen.
Right.
And the music played. By the time, you know what I'm saying, we got to JoJo's part, and it started to mellow out toward the bridge, your woman's all smile. You done got her close to you, hands around. I remember how I used to be in the hallway, because the thing about it also, I remember, it wasn't just hardcore hip hop being played back in the day. You also saw the old school jam being played riding around town.
Right.
You heard Al Green, Love and Happiness going. You heard B.B. King. You heard Mint Condition. You heard Tony. Let me get this out the way. You heard guys. People was jamming this in their car. The drug dealers, the so-called hard people,
Yep.
was playing the soft stuff in their jam car. Because you know why they did it? You know why they did it? Because even though we was hardcore and selling on the block and still toting that thing, we knew when we was going out to hunt for the ladies, it's time to throw on some salt and bump that in the car. Pull up at the gas station.
Say it, brother. Say it. And that's the thing. Because like I said, I come from that. And one thing I can remember coming from that,
Down the road.
the OGs, they'll tell you. Look,
Yep.
little homie. My tender coming along, you know what I'm saying? I might have to let y'all go. He'll probably pull off goddamn bumping motherfucking Tender Love by you know what I'm saying, Force MDs. He bumping the Isley Brothers, you know, For the Love of You. You know,
Come on with the Computer Love. Computer Love was getting played.
Probably even go further back to the classics. Probably play
Exactly.
Ooh Baby Baby by Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. And that'll make the woman feel even more at ease, because she was like, baby, what you know about that? Because 9 times out of 10, most women back in those days could relate to all those old school jams, because all them slow jams meant something to her from all the way back to the 60s to the present.
All of them, because you know what? Because the signature line in it was a man appealing to her love, affection, her soft side. He was saying, I want to be gentle with you. I want to be soft with you. I want to take my time with you because you are special. You are valuable. And I just want to just savor the moment. This is what love making is all about in the music. Savoring and enjoying and appreciating the moment.
That's right.
So when you get, the thing about it was, our Marvin Gaye, for our age, was R. Kelly. But the thing about it was, he wasn't by himself. We had Jodeci kicking in with him. We had Mint Condition kicking in with him. We had Keith Sweat kicking in with him. Man, we had people lined up along the way to say, you know what? I know what you're talking about, homie. And you know what? I got a different way of doing things, but I'm going to spit my game out to the female, because nobody at that age and in that generation that I came up in, you wasn't grabbing no females off no drill music.
Straight like that. And see, now, I'm like I said, we're going to go outside the box for a minute. Because, yes, true enough, we're talking about R&B music. The real R&B music anyway. He just said, been saying for the longest. Women not back in our time, even now, you know, even the women that's right along with us right now, they can relate to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know it.
We went off the rails to the fact where we cut the goddamn hip hop music off. That's because we wanted that woman. We wanted that woman. And we knew and the 9 times out of 10, we knew that she didn't want to hear it. I mean, she liked to rap to a certain degree, but goddamn, we together. I don't hear all that goddamn bumping shit all fucking day because you're going to make me lose what I'm really here.
They want to hear that softer side, something that gets them in the mood.
But this generation basically lost sight of all of that. And the reason why is because they basically, the system of white supremacy, as I always say, basically put out here to these young folks to think that they don't need to be loved anymore.
No, they think love is weak.
Yeah, love is getting high, getting up here, twerking your ass on social media, getting attention. You have to do all this bullshit to get the fucking attention that you're looking for.
Brother.
And you don't have to do that if you just be yourself. But you don't know how to be yourself because you don't even know your history of yourself. But go ahead, bro.
I've come to find out that love, let me tell you something, people, love, when you're trying to share just amongst yourself because you love doing this or you love doing that, it's going to get lonely for you. What you love to do is good, but if you ain't got nobody to share that love with, it's going to be lonely at the time. It's not going to be as fulfilling as you want it to be because nobody's there to celebrate with you. This is what love does for you in the R&B song. Somebody's there with you that understands at that level. Yes, we connect. And the thing about it, me and my homie, we can't connect like my homie can connect with his woman, or me with my woman, or that woman with that man. That's a whole nother different caliber thing as far as relationships.
All day.
I know homies that I known for years, but a female came through and they showed me another side of the homie that I had never seen before. That's the power of a woman. And that's the power of a woman.
That's the thing that we seem to lost the whole concepts of in this society. Because, like I say, when I go in these clubs nowadays, it's terrifying. I'm just gonna be honest. It's terrifying because to see the DJ playing all this hip hop music, all this drill music or trap music through the whole fucking set, and not one fucking
whole set.
And I mean because see, you know, when you go to the club, usually when people come to the club, it's usually around, I want to say, the crowd usually start coming in about 10:30. So just think about it. You listen to this bullshit clean from 10 o'clock to midnight. Midnight, you should be having you should have that shit up in your head. You supposed to be telling the DJ, man, slow this shit down. I'm trying to grab this young tender over here. But you know
and why is that? Because see, we know that when you go to the club, and y'all know it too, okay, but the oldest say, okay, you know what, I don't want to go when it first started. The real clubbers gonna probably fall off in the club around 12 o'clock. All right? Around 12 o'clock. Just like when it said 12 a.m., I'm on my way to the club. 1 a.m., I'm at the bar. 2 a.m., I'm shaking it up. 3 a.m., I'm ready to, you already know.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why the DJ around 1 or 2 o'clock said, I'm going to slow it down for everybody. Yeah, you going to grab that person you've been checking out.
Yeah, because by that time, you didn't got a little exhausted. Now you want to kind of mellow it down. You didn't got some drinks up in you, so you ready. You ready to get it in.
You want to slow down with something the opposite sex. And the thing about it, the opposite sex is looking for you too. So the thing about it is, you start slow jamming with her, and it's a made your night. How many times, fella, and females from our class in 95. After the club was over with, everybody was talking on the Sunday morning about how much fun they had that weekend.
Yeah. And who the new nigga girlfriend you done got?
Yeah. Who done hooked up with who?
Yeah.
The new couple of the but that's the thing about it. Well, we praised that, saying, okay, who with each other? It wasn't about, you know what I'm saying, can we tear them apart? We like to see it grow. Because the thing about it, it was an atmosphere that we was there that night that know it nurtured stuff like that. So we was expecting something to pop off. Now another thing, fellas, class in 95, just strictly the fellas now. You know, when you was in a relationship doing the name and you jacked up, you knew you jacked up when your woman was playing Tony Braxton at the spot.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying right there, straight like that. Straight like that. And
because the women had a song to speak to us. Don't talk, just listen.
Yeah, exactly.
So love had a universal a language of not even, you don't even have to talk. It's a feeling that y'all both mutually understand to the fullest. So because that strong was a power that we actually was cultivating, and it made more of us, they got rid of our people. And the thing about it, what they say, we got one guy that's still young enough to still vibe with the younger generation too. We got to give him a lot more time. Y'all know who I'm talking about.
Yep.
Because by the time he comes out, his voice will not be as strong, or he might be, as they say, irrelevant now, because the generation don't know who he is.
It's crazy, man. That's fucking crazy. But, you know, and not to mention, I'm gonna show you something right here. I'm finna go in about R. Kelly. So any motherfucker that feel like you want to get in your feelings about R. Kelly, I don't care. The hell with you. But I'm finna say this.
Yeah.
R. Kelly, my brother just said not long ago, R. Kelly was basically our Marvin Gaye of the 90s. And everything, just like Marvin Gaye back in the 70s and 60s, and even a part of the 80s before he was assassinated. Marvin Gaye could sing in and everything, and it will sell. You look up, after Marvin Gaye died, I say maybe 12 years later, you have a young brother out of the south side of Chicago named Robert Kelly come up on the same level of tone in his music as Marvin Gaye.
Man, it's similar. It's so similar.
Yes.
You got Marvin Gaye talking about, you know what I'm saying, wake up everybody. He's talking about political stuff. You had Kelly talking about, you know what I'm saying, I wish. My thing was, they tone is like, you know what I'm saying, he was a younger brother, you know what I'm saying, that was born later on. Because he was the same way as far as his approach, his delivery, his sensuality. It's all Marvin, dog.
Yep.
It's cater package for the generation that came after for us. But that's why, you know what I'm saying, sexual healing, you can throw that in 12 play and it'll get played.
Hell yeah. But see, that's what I'm saying. See, a lot of people don't understand and really don't get the real deal, Holyfield understanding on why R. Kelly is getting crucified. See, they want you to think that it's this when it's really that. Because if you listen to this brother's music, I remember I heard somebody basically was trying to, I think he might have been a fucking agent. Whoever the fuck
Probably was.
Whoever the fuck boy was. He was saying that he was singing songs that was relating to little girls. But that was bullshit within itself, because a lot of his music that he sung about was basically on grown folk status. And not to mention when R. Kelly first came into the industry, he was basically what, he was about 18 or 19 when he first signed with Sony. Signed with
19. Well, R. Kelly in the public announcement.
Yeah, when he signed with Jive, which is a Sony entertainment company.
Oh, and now that's another album that I love to hear. I don't know if y'all heard that, people. But R. Kelly in the public announcement, it's got a couple of cuts on that. Slow Jam is one they used to play at the club at 2 o'clock. Who? You remember what I'm talking about. Matter of fact, I wish you could. Can you play it? Or they're going to try to put you in jail? I don't know. I'm not sure.
You know what? I'm going to play a couple of songs, clips of different R&B tracks real quick. They're probably going to copyright it on Facebook. And they ain't gonna. I don't think they ain't gonna flag me on YouTube, but you know,
so we gonna say it like this here then. Fuck them.
That's gonna be Facebook. They the one gonna have a problem. But like I say, R. Kelly's situation about him messing around with young women had nothing to do with why they really crucifying him. They crucifying him because the music that he sung basically brought us together in unison. Because one thing about it, if you read the documentation of the 70s by Richard Nixon and a guy named Henry Kissinger talking about depopulation back in those days of the black community, you would get an understanding on why R. Kelly's music is trying to basically get rid of R. Kelly's music, because, like I say, R&B was the music of our lives, and it racially helped us appropriate life.
That's right. Let me piggyback on that. Now, y'all know, earlier last week, they tore down the Georgia Stone, right? On the Georgia Stone, they were saying that they were trying to hold humanity in perpetual balance of 500,000 people. Now, right now, we at 7 billion people. So how does R. Kelly tie to that? That's what I said. Humanity balance, 500,000. R. Kelly is singing about love-making music, which continues to increase the population. We got to take him out. That's what happened.
That's what I'm telling you. It ain't got nothing to do with him messing with no young ladies, because if America really care about young black women, why is 74,000 young black women missing today?
Ooh.
See, one thing about it, I don't go to the surface. I go down the grassroots when I want to find the real stories of what's going on with us in our communities. I don't go to the top. I go all the way down to the bottom where it grows, where it starts growing. And one thing about it, like I've been arguing with motherfuckers telling me about R. Kelly's a pedophile, this and that and another. Whose information are you going off of? Because you don't own no networks. You don't own no social sites. So where you getting your information from? You getting it from them. And same shit they did with Michael Jackson. Same shit they did with Prince, Whitney Houston, all the way back to Sam Cooke. Is what they're doing to R. Kelly as we speak. But quiet as kept. You're not going to think like that because you're so in your comfort zone. You're so emotional inclined to where you're not even thinking about what I'm saying. You're thinking I'm taking up for a pedophile because they said that he's a pedophile. But you don't even realize that if R. Kelly was to die today, tomorrow, or next year, you're going to realize that when it comes out and about what he was talking about and the music, what it stood for, then you're going to be like, oh my God, so that's what he was doing. And you
that's my whole thing, though, bro. That makes it tragic for our people. Because I see the tragedy that they continue, you know what I'm saying, to recreate for us. And it's after our people And like I said, you won't get a Pac no more. You won't get a Big no more. You won't get a Nip no. This is my thing. Life is. Here's my problem with the planet. Everybody say I got the power to kill, but my thing is you can't correct that mistake once you do it. So it shouldn't give you a right to take that. If you can't correct your mistake, how can you fix that? You shooting down stuff and murdering, you know what I'm saying, other people, but you can't give back life. You know how hard that is to create? And on top of that, creating life, you got laws that saying that we're trying to do away with the multiplication. That's why we want to do same sex. Same sex is not going to reproduce. Now you can say, okay, we're going to die. Thing about it is, there's only so much you can adopt, but the thing about it in adopting, you lose your racist identity because you no longer exist.
Now think about that. For all y'all talking about y'all down with the alphabet people, the rainbow people, or whatever the case may be. Why the rainbow people ain't speaking up for the I guess that's the sister, Brittany Griner over there in Russia? Why y'all not at ease or at arms with the folks over here that's saying that she hates America? Why y'all ain't jumping up and down these motherfuckers' throats like you jump down motherfuckers' throats like me and Brother Dark Prince for speaking against y'all? That sounds very hypocritical, don't you think?
It's not hypocritical because see, our people have been brainwashed through the Willie Lynch. And what's the other system? What's that scientific term? What is that scientific term? We talk about it all the time, you know what I'm saying? When our people like to go ahead and continue to praise their oppression.
Stockholm Syndrome?
Stockholm Syndrome. Our people are still suffering by that. That's why we attack each other. Because things that we've been trained to say, you dumb down like I'm dumb down. You under the same system, I'm under the system. What makes you smarter than me? And the thing about it is, they put it that way because of the Willie Lynch on top of the Stockholm Syndrome about division. House nigga might get a chance to get his hands on the book, so he might know what he's talking about. But because he stays in the house, field niggas not gonna trust him because he's like, you just trying to suck up to the white guy. Division.
Yeah. Even with the fact, like I was saying, it's like I was listening to, like I was reading a lot of comments.
Let me get this blunt real
about the Brittany Griner situation, and people were saying that Brittany Griner was a hater of America, and that she needed to stay over in Russia. And I said, well, hell, America hates America.
I hate them too. Let me just tell the alphabet folks out there right now. FBI, ABC, yeah. Well, can I tell them that I don't like them either? I'm already 30. I'm already 30 days on Facebook already. Y'all already hit me up for that. Just because I said America's burning, and I spelled America with 2 K's in it. I mean 3 K's in it. That's why they came out. The fact check that is. So my thing is,
you can't close your eyes to the bullshit that they got. Basically, they bringing to us. I mean, exactly. you have to speak on it. If a motherfucker step on your foot, you gonna eventually holler out. Plain as simple as that. You ain't gonna sit there and say happy birthday, goddammit. You gonna holler.
No, but America is the type to stomp on your toes and say don't make no noise about it.
No, don't you don't feel no pain. You don't supposed to
no.
feel no pain.
And the thing about it, what's crazy about that, my family out there, is that in slavery they actually thought because we were a different color and skin hue, we could take pain better.
Yeah.
You don't understand that the gynecologist, to get where he's at today, to understand the vaginal system of a woman, our ancestors, as far as the women, went through some excruciating things without anesthesia, people. That's what they did to our women.
Even to the point where you know what I'm saying, the birthing process, women go through all that pain and suffering to have a child.
And I come to find out we doing that the wrong way. Our women actually, you know what I'm saying, stoop down and let gravity actually, you know, pull the young one from her while she pushed. Because when you're sitting up in the bed in the hospital, that takes you out your natural stand, and gravity is not going to allow that. That's why I've been taking hours, 24 hours, 12 hours, 16, 18 hours. Because the thing about it is you're laying on your back. You're not in a natural stooping position like they do when they twerk. That's the crazy thing about it. When they stoop down with their hands on knee, that's the natural position of childbearing.
Yeah,
for our people.
Because your muscles
exactly
downward, not forward. It's pushing downward. Yeah,
downward, and gravity is helping along with that naturally to pull downward. Yeah. So my thing is, it's all been wrong, and we've been suffering, and we ain't have to suffer.
Boy, that is crazy, bro. That is crazy as shit. But man, I know we kind of got off a little off topic on the R&B side of the game, but this is the thing I want to get to now. Okay, we talked about R. Kelly. We're gonna leave R. Kelly alone. Hope brother seek some justice some kind of way, or whatever the case may be. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you motherfuckers out there that got something to say about Kells. Fuck you. Fuck y'all in your ass. That's all I'm gonna say. Fuck y'all in the ass, because I'm gonna always bump R. Kelly music. Because one thing about it, don't talk to me about nobody him messing around with young women and all that shit, because a lot of you motherfuckers mess around with young women. A lot of you motherfuckers, grandmothers, great grandmothers, all of them were young and they was with older men. So let's not act like we don't know nothing about our history, which some of y'all probably don't. But anyway, I'm gonna go further on about this Caucasian guy, about Caucasian people in our R&B music.
You know what? Here's another thing, dog. Just thinking about white people are always into our business about everything we do. Think about it. We're not.
That's why I want to go. I want to go there about Caucasian people in our music, because what I'm finna get ready to say, probably going. I don't care if they flag me. Hey, fuck it, flag me. But it's real shit. Don't you know? While we sitting up here helping them crucify our brother Kells, there are Caucasian men that's going out here trying to sing on the same level as Kells.
Worse than that, dog. Worse than that.
I got a video.
They got. Listen. Along with your video that you got along with that, tell our people gonna pull up Cat Williams when he first dropped and his first stand-up album. He's talking about the Hollywood parties he went to. Tell them to pull it back up, because see, while y'all was laughing, the thing about comedy is comedy tells you the truth, but it makes you laugh at it, and you don't really see that subconscious.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, he was telling you about what was going on in Hollywood and how they treat the men and the women there, which makes you say, okay, you know what? It's all devilish, because the thing about that, you know, it goes to a spiritual level, because they tell you to change your nature about who you are created to be.
Right.
Men are no longer men, and women are no longer men. Women, excuse me. What type of, how does that work in a man's world that it benefits us as men? Let's just take the Most High out of it. Let's just take the devil out of it. Now let's just say there's no God, there's no devil. All right. Now, mix in the homosexuality. How does that benefit us?
It don't. And it won't.
Unless there's an agenda behind it that we don't see to destroy the human race as it is. Because there's a pattern put in place for man and woman, to be fruitful and multiply, to replenish the earth and subdue it and have dominion over it.
Right. What's up,
shout out to the brother Barney there.
Yeah. He's shalom to you, bro. Shalom to you. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. But bro, let me show y'all this video on what I'm talking about. How they gonna quietly swoop on in there like Elvis Presley did with Chuck Berry and take credit for the R&B music. Listen to this.
Girl, relax, let's go slow. I ain't got nowhere to go. I'm just gonna concentrate on you. Girl, are you ready?
Coming soon to a radio station near you.
This ain't no different. Till they went and got Eminem, found him in the dirt.
Bro, they've been doing this shit for so long. Because I remember when I watched that movie Cadillac Records, and they basically was shitting on Chuck Berry. They sit up there and knew Chuck Berry had a new type of sound that was never heard before in musical history. They called it race. They called it race music, and then they went ahead and changed. Alan Free changed the word from race music to rock and roll. Because it made you move, it made you dance real fast. And Chuck Berry is the reason for that. But they want you to think. But when Chuck Berry got locked up, supposedly for transporting teenage girls over state lines, don't that sound kind of familiar to R. Kelly's messing around
There's
with young
nothing new. Listen, as Solomon said in the script, there's nothing new under the sun. That's what folks ain't figured out.
Bruh, I have that spiritual vibe going through me right now. I'm in high frequency right now, bro. I'm not even nowhere near low frequency. Ain't no low frequency in me tonight. I'm telling you what's going on now. R. Kelly is finna get crucified. They're finna bring in the new generation of R&B, and it's gonna be Mr. Charlie himself. Once again, showing.
Listen, let me tell you the longevity of our people as far as singing, because they were created to be that way. Yehuda means praise. You heard me? The tribe name is Judah, but the J has never been until the 16th century. But the original is Yehuda. It means praise. It's dances, it's sings, it writes music. It started with the ancestors Solomon and David. His descendants still do this to this day. That's why it's not been touched. That's why they can't do nothing with it. That's why they say, sing one of them songs that you want to sing with. Because the thing about it is, it's soul in us. We were created to do it. Now let's get into it. Let's take out a vocalist. Temptation, Mr. Eddie Kendrick, natural falsetto. We didn't get one of those again from the white people until Robin Thicke came across. Let's keep it another 100. Whitney was running everything through the 80s. Nothing topped her out. Top female vocalist of the decade. Going into the 90s, we didn't get nowhere until they found Mariah. This was 1990 when they finally found somebody to touch, at least get in the same category with Whitney. Because up to this point, nobody could touch, male or female.
Well, you know, Mariah is black. She's black. I ain't gonna sit up there and tell her say she's white. She probably act like she's white.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. They always know.
I get what you're saying.
They always know that the thing about it is the only way they better get with us is they gotta interbreed with us.
Yeah.
That's the only way. Because us against them, physically, we outdo them.
Oh yeah, they know that.
Which is why people, they don't tell you about all the slave riots that was going on in the country. They were so numerous to the point that people was getting out of hand. That's why Mr. Willie Lynch was called in from England. Called Mr. Willie Lynch in from England, saying that we need to control it. He put a system in place mentally.
I think I got that book up here too somewhere. that book up here.
Please show it to the people.
There it is. Up here.
Please show it to the people.
Never leave home without it.
Please show it to
There
the
it is.
people.
The Willie Lynch letter.
Hold on, they got you. There you go. They had you blurred out for a sec, but there you go. I need everybody. If you want to understand why it's not working in your home with you and your significant spouse, if you want to know why it is that the system seems like it's oppressing you and you get stopped at every turn and you can't put your finger on it, you need to read this book.
Yep.
If you want to know exactly what started the welfare, what started the man being out the home, you need to read this book. If you want to know why y'all women can't get along with each other and fighting amongst yourselves because somebody
Young and
has
old.
phone,
Young and old. Young and
you
old.
need to read this book.
Because like
Fella.
a lot of times you got like if y'all see you young folks doing shit wrong and then they sit up there not listening to you, there's a reason for that. They've been programmed not to listen to you. They've been programmed not to listen to us. Hell, y'all been programmed not to listen to me, listen to us as men. That's why a lot of times when I find myself having a conversation with females that I got love for, and they don't want to listen to me, they get mad and get all in their feelings and shit. I told them I know where that shit come from. It come from the same motherfuckers that don't like me and you both. But at the same time, you don't see it because you basically thinking you just being outspoken and you basically just speaking your mind, but it ain't got shit to do with you speaking your mind. Because a lot of times, my dad used to always say, loose lips sink ships. You know what I'm saying? You can be outspoken and miss the whole fucking conversation of what the man is trying to tell you. Because if I'm sitting there trying to tell you that there's a goddamn crack in the middle of the damn road, I expect you to go around the crack, not run into it. But in order for you to run into that crack, you got to first listen to what I'm saying to you about not going into that crack, because that crack could either hurt you or kill you. But if you don't hear what I'm saying, then eventually you're going to run into that crack. And you can't do nothing but say, well, it is what it is, because it should be, it is what it is. You should be able to listen to what I'm trying to save you if you want me to save your life.
Okay. Now, people, I'm about to blow your brain. I'm about to blow your mind right now. Now, everybody knows about the series, movie, trilogy of The Matrix, right? The woman that wrote that story of The Matrix was a black woman, y'all. A melanated, a sister. They stole the script from her. But this is the thing about it. What she wrote down is exactly what we're going through the Willie Lynch system. The Willie Lynch system, The Matrix.
Hey, cuz said, he said the Terminator 2. They stole the Terminator from her too.
That's right. That's right. He's dead on point with that. Bullseye at 500 yards, straight up. Now check it, people. In The Matrix, she's telling our story. She's saying that the Willie Lynch system that they have in place in the world today has us asleep to it. And we're going through the motion. That's why people are not happy at their home. They're not happy with themselves. Because you wake up, get dressed, you go to work, get from work, go home, whatever your routine is, and you go back to sleep. You don't have nothing outside of that. That's in the Matrix. That's asleep. So when somebody that's been unplugged from the Matrix starts to talk to you about, well, man, you know what? That ain't how it goes. You're not going to understand it because at first it goes against what you already understand about things.
Damn. That's funny that you said that shit, bro. Because I ain't going to call her name, but there's a female friend of mine I had a conversation with today. And I was trying to tell her about we was talking about the prison in Mississippi. And she was saying that the prison system, when the brother had it, he didn't give a fuck about Parchment. Parchment, they didn't have no good air conditioning systems, and all this shit was fucked up. But when the Caucasian man came in there, he basically put air conditioners and everything, and put all kind of programs in there. And she was like, she couldn't understand why the brother couldn't put the programs in there. And I told her, I said, it's because it's a setup. It's the hidden hand behind all that. She didn't understand what I was saying. She was basically saying that ain't no excuse. He had a choice to do that, but he chose not to do it because he a lame, he a sorry motherfucker, whatever the case may be. But she really don't understand the whole hidden hand agenda behind the reason why that brother did what he did.
You know what? Let me go in a little deep and piggyback off that for you, for the people that's listening right now. And I hope it's just listening right now too. I hope now everybody has seen The Wizard of Oz. Now, the hidden hand, what my brother is talking about right now, if you remember The Wizard of Oz, once they went to the wizard, you had Dorothy, the Cowardly Lion, the Scarecrow, and the Tin Man standing there waiting for answers. Saying that this guy right here, everybody been telling him the whole time frame, this guy's got the solution. You just need to get to the city and see him.
Right.
The thing about it, when they got there, they were intimidated first, like any big government would do you. Have you bowing down and cowering between all the regs and regulations that they have for you to get through life. Well, little young Toto, the dog, runs off from them and grabs the curtain and pulls it back. Now they see that there's a person that's behind there that's orchestrating this. All this that they saw was a big illusion that had them shook to their nose, shook to their core, but it was all an illusion.
That's right.
So the hidden hand was revealed by Toto pulling back the curtain to show you there's always a person that's got to stand and work to scare everybody that's the general population. So once you find out that there's a people or a plan behind things on why things is, because everybody had to come across their mind like there's something ain't right in society. That should be your first clue to right now to start digging.
Yeah, find it out.
But most of us, it's just a passing thought.
Yeah, because you feel because you've been programmed to think that if they tell you you the reason why your community fucked up, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna believe that. You're gonna think that these young folks is just crazy out here. They just doing shit just because they should know better. But it don't always be. It's not set up like that because they don't know no better. And they don't know no better for a reason, because you got to think about television, radio, social media, all the easygoing shit that we could even never get our hands on back in the days. They didn't exist too much back in the days when we were young.
Yeah.
See, it's easy. See, like I say, I remember back in the days when having a Playboy magazine or a Hustler magazine or Penthouse, you was a bad motherfucker if you had a magazine. But now, all you gotta do is have this motherfucker right here. And you can get any damn sexual preference known to man on this goddamn phone right here.
All night long, like Lionel Richie.
Because this phone right here has access to everything. And one thing about when you get a phone for your child, you ain't talking about I want a cell phone strictly for children. Nah. Everything's on that motherfucker. Even if you fuck around there and you better not put open up a site or any damn thing on your phone. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna do it anyway. Because because when you tell them not to, they're gonna get curious to find out why you said not to.
Exactly.
Because I know if I was young back in the days, young in this day and time, I should be trying to find out. And hell, the magazine, and this is 10 times better than that goddamn Hustler magazine. But
here's the key. Here's the kicker, dog.
On the fly.
Here's the kicker, brother. Here's the kicker. They don't need the magazines no more. All they got to do is turn to BET and watch the video.
Oh, yeah, that too.
So remember, we used to go to the videos because we wanted to see the spread leg. You ain't got to go to the videos now. They're going to do that on TV for you now. That fantasy is fulfilled now. That was something that we had in our head, like, man, why don't you just open up like they do in a magazine? But the magazine was as far as you get it, because they're like, no, it's too taboo, because America's too innocent right now for that. But if you watch from the 20s up to now, the dresses on white women went from long all the way up to short in a bikini style by the time the 70s got.
That's true, Joe. That's true. That is so true. That is so fucking true. That's why I say this motherfucker right here can give you any and everything you would ever want to see. And like you said about BET, you know, it's funny that you brought up BET. How about MTV is trying to bring your MTV raps back out, but in the new generation? And guess who won't be watching it?
I won't.
I don't even give a fuck.
I won't, because see, my thing is, all I know right now, I'm seeing folks like Travis Scott, 6ix9ine, Young Thug. Folks don't have a damn thing to say about the benefit of our people. They gonna be in there.
Yeah.
I see the folks from O Block shot down. From JoJo, where they coming down, they gonna be on there, but it's gonna all be. I see Florida in there. I see everybody. You know what I'm saying? Young, all they gonna be talking about is drill, team, and gun thing. That's it. That's it. That's it. I remember when the freestyle used to get kicked off.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day, when the freestyle got kicked off, the thing about it was bars included, but it was also something that had you thinking later on about, you know what I'm saying, my life. And maybe I need to, you know what I'm saying, readjust some things and rearrange some things. Because what he said, I didn't see that before. So I can understand why country rap was also assassinated in 91. Because country rap people start to question things. It'll have you asking questions about, you're talking about crypto and this new currency through the crypto, but what's stopping you from treating it just like the food stamp we used to have by saying you're limited by buying certain things by? Because it's through the government that you get.
Right.
This is where I see that going.
Right.
But the thing about it is, because it's crypto, it's just like based off inflation. Because the U.S. here doesn't have no damn money. So that bubble, just like when you blowing bubbles out your bubble bottle when you was a kid, gets bigger and bigger, but eventually it will burst. So the older white folks that knows about the stock market, they gonna have people tell them, well, after such a time frame, it ain't gonna be rocking right. And even though you've been trying to do it right all your life by getting into stocks and bonds, because you don't have that insider information,
right,
you lose all your damn money.
Yeah.
So the game that they said is what you need to play to make it is still rigged. So then you start asking questions like, well, I thought I was doing everything the way they do it. Then you start to find out, I don't care how squeaky clean of a person you become, if you do want to be successful, they're going to make sure there's some dirt on you for you to make it. Now you're no longer squeaky clean. Guess what that makes people? You're no longer you. The person you thought you were, it no longer exists. That person died.
Yep.
And you have to become a person you're not longer. Why you think our celebrities always flipping out? Why you think Britney Spears shaved off all her head, was looking crazy going around? Because mentally she lost it.
Yeah. That's why I say, you know, even when they was looking at Kanye West walking around this motherfucker looking like looking like the Masked Marauder or something and shit. His face covered all up.
Looking at him right now. Yeah. Looking at that right now while you pray, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and speak on it.
That's the young Kanye, ain't it?
No, it's showing. Now, see, I like watching documentaries, right? And it's showing how spirituality, as far as being tied into the music industry and how it's been taken over by the demonic. And the thing about it is, Kanye, if y'all watch his videos, people, look at the video background and the setup and ask me what does that has to do with the song he's singing or she's singing.
Boy, I tell you. I just want, you know what?
See,
I'm gonna show
this ties back into the R&B talking about tonight.
Yeah,
because see,
yeah.
R&B had a message, and when it was performed, you felt it because you knew what the message was about. The music matched the word.
Yeah.
Now, the musical background does not match the word.
I want to hit this clip right quick because somebody made this video right here, but they claim like it's old school R&B, but it's good R&B, but it's not old school to me. Check this out.
You don't know what you mean to me. I do. All I think about is you. Even when I'm with my boo, oh, you know I'm crazy for you. No matter what I do, all I think about is you. Even when I'm with my boo, you know I'm crazy for you. I ain't never had nobody show me all the things that you done show me in the special way I feel. You hold me, we gon' always be together, baby. That's what you told me, and I believe it. 'Cause I ain't never had nobody do me like you. Not you, not you.
Tell me, fellas, have you seen her? It was about 5 minutes ago when I seen the hottest chick that a youngin' never seen before. I say, yo, tell the girls I wanna meet her. On second thought, that ain't the way to go. I gotta give her game proper, spit it so she get it. There she is, I gotta stop her.
Oh, dog.
Yeah, it made me want to
get what I'm talking about.
Maybe get on my ones and twos. Shout out to DJ Discretion. One of my
But
TikTok
you know what? I was just thinking about something that you said that the fella said to you. And you said it's old school. Let me talk to my people about that. I think we need to stop calling good music old.
Yeah.
We need to cut that term out talking about, oh, that's old school. No, that's genuine good music.
Yeah.
Just like when they said that our music from the 90s was old school.
Chopper call it timeless music, which makes sense.
That's it. That's it. And my thing is, what I like to add to it, what I call our music was tied into the old music, as you would like to say that, timeless music. Because I say I like to put the G in front of it and say, no, that's gold music.
Shout out to Cuz, DJ Derek Tyler. We see you, Cuz. We see you. You just in time. You know what I'm saying? Even though he said he came in late, but he here. But yeah, he was saying something about what you said earlier. He said because I just put up on the 2-bar. He said, I know I'm late, but they sampled a lot of old school music.
Of course. And you know why? Because they had a message in it.
Yeah.
And whatever they was rapping about at the time frame, somewhat was similar to the old school chorus, because usually they sampled and it was in the chorus. The chorus what was kicking the old school music.
Yeah.
Because they already knew it was something that was grounded and solid. I remember they used to call something called Solid Gold.
Oh yeah. TV show.
You heard?
Solid Gold, yeah.
Because think about it was solid hit.
Marilyn McCool, the psychic bitch with her name, Dionne Ward. She hosted.
We ain't gonna even pull her into it right now. You know what I'm saying? But I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
But that TV
but here's
show
my
there,
thing.
That TV show there was the shit. I'll be glad when they started.
Here's my thing right here.
PD.
I don't care how old we get. I don't care what's going on. If you pull out something from the classic, from the timeless era, from the gold school era, everybody gonna start bobbing to it.
Oh yeah.
And then somebody in the crowd gonna say to somebody young, you don't know nothing about that.
Oh yeah. They do chopper like that all the time. That's why I told him, I said, because he did what was that? Class of 1976, wasn't it? Chop? He did a 1976 class of 1976 and rocked that motherfucker. Now think
Well,
about
I mean, you got to. You got two people in the family that was born that year. You gonna have to rep.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! That's what I told him. I said I was like, man, you gotta go in hard, man. You can't be going there because he already know. I was like, man, don't go in there with none of that drill music. He gonna get cooked. They gonna throw you in them turntables up out of there.
I'm trying to tell you, they'll flip you out of there faster than, you know what I'm saying, a hook at the church on Sunday doing car time.
Hell yeah, shit. But he was like, now he went in there, he tore it up. He was like, them folks was looking at him crazy, like, what the hell you know about that music? That music's older than you.
Well, see, this the beautiful thing about that, what Chopper is doing. Okay, hold on. Let's see what the brother's talking about.
He said it really is. But only thing I don't like about it, but they act like we didn't have it back in our days, having to remind a lot of these young people we had that beat.
Here's the thing. Our music is disconnected by generations because the thing about it, well, we haven't connected it all together. It's a different expression with each generation that's produced after us. It's still the same message.
Yeah.
It's give rap different, but it's still the same presence. Like I just said earlier when we first started this thing off, our Marvin Gaye was R. Kelly.
R. Kelly, basically, yeah. Just like
we have not. It's a tree, people. It's a musical tree.
Yeah, it's just like Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson in the 80s. You know, Michael Jackson was in the 80s. Later on in the mid 80s, we had Bobby Brown. You know what I'm saying?
I never really looked at Bobby as a singer, but the thing about it, he had a couple of hits. Now that's always been mind-boggling to me.
He had that dancing persona down to a T. That's why I said,
ain't that Sierra? Ain't that Sierra now?
Yeah. So I mean, that was why I said Michael Jackson, because Michael Jackson, basically, he was a singer, but he was more of a performer than anything. That motherfucker there could dance his ass off. He danced circles around motherfucker. Even though, you know what I'm saying, shout out to Jeff Daniels, Shalimar, and the late Michael Peters, and who else? And there's somebody else that helped Mike with his dance. Oh, Poppin' Taco, God rest his dead, that just died last week. You know what I'm saying? Who helped Michael Jackson with a lot of his dance moves. You know what I'm saying? That's what made Michael took them dance moves that he was shown, and he basically brought it to perfection.
I'm still tripped out about the fact that this young generation is so disconnected from our history of music. That's what it is. A disconnection from our history of music.
Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier before you came on, bro. I was like, our generation, this new generation, should always know about the history of our music, so they can get an understanding on if they ever decide to do music, to have that whole persona together, to make their music sound just like ours, but not, not just directly like ours, but you know what I'm saying, just have it on that level somewhat.
And here's another thing. I've come to find out about our people. We've been so subjugated so long that when hip hop did come along, we said this is our music, not understanding that jazz, blues, rock, classical, spoken word, that's all ours too. All genres of music belong to us. That's what makes it music, people. If you limit yourself to one genre, you're missing out on a whole spectrum of the rainbow.
Yep. He said,
that's just like saying I'm going along. It's like saying I'm going along with the red right here because I like that. I'm going along with the blue right here if I like that. Let me throw in the purple also if I like that. My thing is, well, what about the green, the yellow? What about, the burgundies and the ambers? What about the earth tone colors, people?
Yeah. Cuzzo said
My
Bruno
thing is,
Mars brought out the Love Train, and people lost their mind. Confunction did that song exactly. That's what I
bruh,
was saying.
listen,
They
let me tell you
they
something.
use
Now, Bruno
get our
Mars,
shit.
I like that guy. I like that guy. I think he's talented. And he did something. If you remember 2 winners back in January, I think it was last year, maybe. What was it? He came out with the little group before Smoking Out the Window. What was the track they had out before Smoking Out?
So I probably get that.
Oh, it was something about I'm gonna come over. I'm gonna let you come over. Something like that.
I can't. But only thing I can tell you.
Okay, here's my thing. And you got Chopper there right through so he can brainstorm with you. The thing about that song was, when you listen to the musical competition of the background music, it sounded like 70s music, dog.
Well, that's where I want to go with this right here, bro. Bruno Mars have took a lot of songs that we have already basically accomplished and made it his own sound, which you got to remember, Bruno Mars is not us. Bruno Mars is a Cuban Jew. Yes. So think about this. I'm gonna say
that nigga saying, never mind. I'm gonna keep my words on. You know what I'm about to say, but go ahead.
But I'm just gonna show you something. Think about it. I just gave you a damn video about 20 seconds long of a Caucasian man singing falsetto like a brother. Bruno Mars is basically doing the same thing, because you notice you ain't seen no dark brothers doing that type of music anymore.
Or light skin.
Yeah. See what I'm saying? See, this is how they get us. Cuz say he finna look it up. But yeah. But that's what I'm going with this shit tonight. They take our stuff. Like I say, they'll make excuses. Like R. Kelly messing around with little young girls and all that stuff. And next thing you know, they come swooping in with somebody that's gonna be singing on the same level as R. Kelly.
You know what? I'm gonna play the whole album tonight. Before I get off with this, I'm gonna raise my windows. I'm gonna take it like it was back in the summers, back in the day in the 90s. I'm gonna raise my windows up tonight. As a matter of fact, it's almost about 10 o'clock spot, but around about 10 to 11. I'm gonna play the whole 12-play album, start to finish, dog.
Yeah, bro, because I know we getting close to time. Time is about to wind down. What do you say? That's the one he came out with Bruno Mars, Uptown Anthem. Is that what it is? That don't believe, just watch bullshit.
What's the group he with now? That's who he made the song with. What's the group he with now?
Damn. I don't know, bro. Because like I said, I ain't very good with that new generation shit. And I got a lot of it, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, like I say, I'm not dissing the young man or whatever the case may be. But I know that what their agenda is about, because they've done it before. They did it with Chuck Berry and with Elvis Presley.
Word.
They done it with Chuck Berry and the Beach Boys. This man guitar rip was tough. Leave the door open. Is that the song?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking about that. I was thinking of that, but I didn't want to say that. Yeah.
I need you to say that, man. Don't go always with the first mind, dog. Go always with the first mind, because it's always mostly right.
I'm trying to figure out what artist. I'm trying to figure out a black artist that had that same type of mindset.
They know that's the music that's going, you know what I'm saying, talk to the women and pay.
who had that same falsetto setup?
The last person that actually had a natural falsetto was Maxwell.
Oh yeah. But I'm talking about on you know that song what he did, that song 24 Carats. Remember that song he did, 24 Carats? You know what that sound like to me? That sound like
What's
some kind of Gap Band type of 80s type of shit.
Because it's all connected.
I even heard one of my fellow Facebook friends on his podcast basically called out a lot of the songs, a lot of the artists of yesterday that Bruno Mars sounded like.
You know what?
But you know, even when what's that Robin Thicke got sued for the Blur Line song, we knew off top that was Marvin Gaye's got to give it up.
Of course. But you know what? It was got me tripped out by.
Thanks, cuz he said Anderson .Paak. That's it. He's with.
That's it. That's an Arabic last name. Yeah. And my thing is, you know what I'm saying? It ain't us. But they want to emulate us. And here's my thing again. To my other point I was about to bring out is like, we tell our young people, you know what I'm saying, some of our women, our forefathers, you know what I'm saying, grandparents, great-grandparents, they were sharecroppers. Next generation came in, they went to college, became, you know what I'm saying, dentists and doctors and stuff like that. So what they did was, they was to add on and go further than what their parents could do, right? It's the same thing with our music. It's the same culture. You take what we're giving you and you build on to that. That's why it was all connected. Because the thing about it is, say, I want to get the same point across, but I need this original line, such and such, to go and bring it home.
There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. And I mean, because, you know, I seen something that was funny today, bro. Because I know we're gonna getting short on time, but it was something I seen funny today. And I think I'm gonna probably delete myself off that page because there's a page somebody made called John Lennon group page. And it basically said that John Lennon said that his effect, I guess, to music was Elvis Presley. But I know that's a goddamn lie, because John Lennon didn't have no type of love for no fucking Elvis Presley. Because Elvis Presley and people, all the Anglo-Saxons couldn't stand the European invasion. The British invasion, I'm sorry. They couldn't stand, they used to talk bad about the Beatles and all that shit back in the day. So I know that's a goddamn lie. Them motherfuckers hated. They was Caucasians from overseas coming over here. They didn't like that shit because the American white women started liking those white men. When they pulled up at JFK Airport in 1961, and they performed what's that song they performed? What was one of the first Beatles songs they performed? And them motherfuckers was hollering and going crazy like Michael Jackson.
He's speaking.
And for them to say that John Lennon had love for some fucking Elvis Presley is a lie, because Elvis Presley had no love for them goddamn British singers groups back in the day. Now none of them, because a lot of them paid homage to us, to our people, because hell, fucking Mick Jagger named his goddamn band after Muddy Waters, one of Muddy Waters' #1 songs back in the day, called the Rolling Stone. Rolling Stones. So that just goes to show you that was all a lie. It's because the European, the British groups of that time, they basically had a lot of love for a lot of blues singers. They loved them some B.B. King and Muddy
Still
Waters,
do.
Little Milton, and stuff like that. Hell, who
Still.
was that? Eric Clapton or whoever the motherfucker was that's paid for goddamn what's the name? The motherfucker song Smokestack Lightning. What his name was? Goddamn. What was that brother name from Moss Point, Mississippi? What was his name? Damn, what's that tall nigga name? Damn, what's his name? Shit. Holland Wolf. Holland Wolf, Eric Clapton them paid for Holland Wolf funeral. His grave site.
Okay.
Because they love blues music. A lot of hell, Led Zeppelin, Fleetwood Macs, all of them got their persona off of blues music. If you listen to one of Led Zeppelin songs, I don't even know what song it is, but I got their music. If you listen to their song, a couple of their songs, it's got a blues pattern in it, and that's a rock group.
Yep. That it is.
So, like I say, my people, don't ever think that we ain't the victors of everything that we do on this land, because we come from this land. We're the original people, all day, every day. R&B music is ours, and they know it, and they're trying to destroy the imagery of it and bring their persona of R&B into it. Y'all just watch what I tell you. When they get to shitting all over R. Kelly, that's when you gonna start hearing this guy right here.
You don't know what.
Wrong one. My bad.
It never really mattered to.
Not him. I'm sorry. Hold on. Fuck it up now. Where he at? There he is.
Girl, relax. Let's go slow. I ain't got nowhere to go. I'm just gonna concentrate on you. Girl, are you ready?
That's what's gonna be next on the menu. Coming soon. And they get to crucifying R. Kelly up. Because they know how to make it do what it do. They've been doing it for the last 60, 70 years. So they made their decision to let us get on the airwaves. But anyway, let's see. Yeah, I don't know who that cat is, but I seen him on TikTok. I was just scrolling down, and I just thought I had to share that video. But that's gonna be the next. That's gonna be our next R&B singer. Our next R. Kelly. You watch what I tell you.
Yeah, that about that.
They gonna hurry up and get rid of the whole concepts of what we had as R&B, because they don't see no use for us anymore. Plain and simple as that.
No, they got all the R&B singers out the way, so they don't. They bring their own to the front.
Yep. Because like I said, one thing you got to understand the whole concept. History does repeat itself, no matter how you look at it. History repeats itself time and time again, and they know it. That's why they enjoy doing what they do to us. Take our shit and basically make you hate your shit. Because I'm gonna tell you something before we get off of here. I've known that a lot of our music and our talent is loved in other countries instead of where it comes from, right here in America. Think I'm lying? Like my brother said right here, he was in the Navy. He'll tell you, you go to Japan, you go to any parts of this goddamn continent, this planet, they love your shit better than you love your shit. So anytime you sit up there and you go to the club, they come out, I don't want that old ass shit. The motherfuckers over there telling you, we want to hear it, we love it. We know who the victors are of this music game. But hey, don't take my word for it. Just research. But bro, we're gonna go ahead and end this whole situation, bro. As always.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Man, what is this? Cuz said we say we need some more group bad. That's what I missed.
Yeah, it's over with, dog.
It's over with. It's over now.
It's over with, dog.
It's just like Luther Vandross say, it's over now.
Yeah, it's over with, dog. That's over with. That era is over with.
As bad as I hate to say this shit, it is over with. It's done. It's done. And the reason why it's done is because they got us conditioned to thinking where they want us to be conditioned to be. We too busy helping them crucify R. Kelly. So you know, I already know them damn band groups and all that shit, it ain't coming to pass anymore. We're not even unified for that type of logic anymore. Because if you watch Unsung, every time you watch an Unsung episode, it's always showing somebody in the group that broke up the group some kind of way. It never showed the hidden hand, but show the motherfuckers that they want you to see. Now think about that.
Yep.
But anyway, bro, we gonna go ahead and get up off this thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, bro, for coming in. You know, you came in late, but you're here. I'm glad you came, bro. Let's go ahead and finish this goddamn 2.5 hours. We going on to 2 hours and 23 minutes of live time.
Okay.
But it was worth the time, bro, because we had to get it out there to the people. So, bro, we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up, man. As always, you have a good night, bro. Be easy. And I guess I'll see you probably Wednesday on the rant.
Yeah, I will. I will, bro.
We're gonna talk more about, I guess, Brittany Griner and why she hates America. Why she's supposed to hate America.
Okay. We'll do that, dude.
All right, bro.
All right, shalom, bro.
Peace. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude the podcast. For sure, fam. You have a good night, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate it. Appreciate you coming through, as always, as well as Treese and my bro, Vernell Bunny, and many others out there. Much love and respect to you guys. You know what I'm saying? Just give y'all the heads up on how this R&B game situation is going down, because, man, if y'all don't know, it's about to change, you know. And like I say, you know, you don't have to take my word for it. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is just do your research, because just like this podcast, it's just our opinion, regardless if you feel like you believe what we're saying or not. You know, it's always good to, you know what I'm saying, to research things to find out the way we had to find out. But anyway, much love, respect to you guys. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have a good night. I guess I'm going to go ahead and give me some rest and give me some good sleep. And hopefully try to get up out of Texas tomorrow. I don't know. Shit. In my company, I don't know. I ain't going to go there. But y'all be good, man. I'm going to go ahead and show a couple of videos on the way out. Y'all already know the business, how I get down. It's your boy Chaos. I'm out. Have a good night.
You don't know what you mean to me.
Rapping, calling your sisters bitches and hoes. And then when you get your award for degrading yourself and your people, I thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You rapping, calling your sisters bitches and hoes. And then when you get your award for degrading yourself and your people, I thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. The white man will give you an Academy Award for calling your women bitches and whores and glorifying pimp life. So you become a millionaire on degradation and you think that's all right.
Here you walking with that thong in your behind. And now it's the ass-shaking contest. Yes, you know what I'm saying. It ain't a brain-moving contest. It's an ass-shaking contest. And you want to be the new winner.
DJ Mix Master Chaos.
Forward.